See, when you talk about conviction, you said so and so did a crime and was convicted of the offense. It means 100% sure that the person did it. Now you don't say, we have faith that the person did it. If you say you have faith they did it, maybe, maybe not. You understand that? Why I am saying that translating Shraddha as faith implies that you are not too sure. Though the word faith means also that Ishvara Pranidhana Bhakti, there is that. Whereas conviction, there is not a single iota of doubt. So Shraddha is that conviction in your own self that you can heal yourself. It's a conviction. Then the second part is the virya. One is that you believe you can heal yourself, but then the second is you have to do something about it. That doing requires courage, strength, endurance, heroism. That is virya. These are two essential qualities that are part of what is developed in yoga. Then the next one is to oppose this loss of hope. The yoga philosophy, the yoga psychology gives us a sense of purpose, what is called dharma or swadharma. Recently I was reading a status from someone, I think it was Shvetika, where she said, writing exams for the sake of passing them and getting a job, as opposed to empowering yourself to help others. The exam takes on a new meaning when you understand that by writing the exam you are empowering yourself to help others. What is the difference? The purpose. When you realize that you are born for a purpose. Now the problem, as my father would say, we spend our whole life trying to figure out what is the purpose. As a human being, what is the purpose of my life? So we understand that I have a purpose, one. Second, the disease that I have is part of me fulfilling my purpose for which I am born. So the disease doesn't become a tragedy, but it becomes something that is motivating you to become the best you. Think of Helen Keller. Blind. She could have just said, I cannot do anything. She went on to achieve so much. So her blindness, she took it as a purpose to do something. So many people you find who have had these tragedies, who have had accidents, who have had illnesses, and what have they done? They have used the stumbling stone as a stepping stone to growth. So they change an attitude of understanding what is the purpose for which we are here, and maybe there is a purpose behind whatever issues I am facing. It starts to empower oneself. Then the concept of acceptance. In yoga we have the concept of Sharanagati, which is also Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana is basically Bhakti Yoga. And here what you are doing is that you are able to develop a sense of acceptance, that which has come. Again it goes with that purpose. That which has come for a purpose to enable me to be better, and I offer all of this to the divine, to the universe as my offering. And this is where the beautiful statement when Jesus was on the cross, thy will be done. It's very important. That is acceptance. If your will is for me to die, so be it. If your will is for me to grow, so be it. But at the same time I have to do something about it. So it's not an escapism. And that is why Shraddha along with Virya, understanding that something has a purpose and then doing something about it, goes with this. And that is why Ishvara Pranidhana implies you doing your best, but then accepting whatever is coming. The concept of Nishkama is built into it. And this is why, how you can give people these concepts. You cannot sit them down and say, okay, 1 hour today will be a theory lecture. It's fine for a PG diploma course, and not fine in a therapy session. But how can you, while you are teaching them the asana, while you are teaching them the pranayama, when you meet them someplace, how can these concepts be shared at the appropriate moment? They say there is a teachable moment. I say there is a healing moment. You have to find that healing moment. And so many people find that. When they find that moment from where healing starts to occur. Now that you don't just sit around waiting for it to happen. You have to be doing something and then the moment comes. And because the moment may be after 10 kilometers. And if you sit here, that moment will not come. So you have to be walking 10 kilometers for that moment to come. So again people, it's not an escapism. The yogic attitude is acceptance, not escapism. Again here, to combat stress and autonomic imbalance, the effect of yoga on the psychoneuroimmune system. Because in all these chronic diseases, the psychoneuroimmunology is affected. And this is all related to that Adija Vyadhi concept, Adi and Vyadhi concept. So here, your psychoneuroimmunology is being restored to harmony. It has gone off harmony. There is an imbalance of your psychoneuroimmunology. You are restoring balance. That is what all the yoga practices, be it asana, be it pranayama, be it relaxation, they are all working on harmonizing, resetting your psychoneuroimmunological balance. And that is where again the internal organs, if you look at most of the yoga asanas, all the internal organs are massaged in different ways. There is alternate contraction or compression and then relaxation of internal organs. Think of the Pavanamuktasana. You compress the whole abdomen, all the internal abdominal organs, the digestive system, all the kidneys, the excretory system, your liver, the pancreas, all are given a healthy compression and then you let go. There's a sense of relaxation. Now when you do this, you are changing the pressures inside your abdomen. When you do the pranayama, you are changing the pressures inside your thorax. The thoracic, intrathoracic, intra-abdominal and intra-pelvic. Pressures are being changed. Of course, are we also changing the intracranial pressures with practices like Brahmari? We don't know, but are we? Do we change, and what does that do? The change in the pressure changes the way the blood flows, changes the way the nerve energy flows, and changes the way the healing energies can flow. Because otherwise it's stagnation. Now what have you done? You have stopped the stagnation, created dynamism. So all the practices, it doesn't matter, is it Ardha Matsyentra or Purna Matsyentra, it depends on the individual's capacity. For one person, for me for example, Ardha Matsyentra will give the same benefit. But maybe for Dhanu, she has to do Purna Matsyentra to get that same benefit. Paschimottanasana, I just have to touch my toes, I will get that compression. Satish may have to go fully flat before he gets that compression. So again, here you have to understand that what you want is the compression and relaxation of the internal organs. Changing the dynamics of circulation, changing the dynamics of energy flow. It is all happening. So when you change the dynamic, you are going to change your body's ability to withstand the chronic disease and to heal. I am still not using the word cure because curing is one thing, healing is another. And healing is definitely enhanced by yoga. Whether we can cure through yoga, it depends on many factors. But definitely, anyone who comes to yoga can heal themselves through yoga. Whether they can cure themselves is second. Healing definitely occurs. Because healing implies health. You can become healthy. Even if you have diabetes, you can be healthy. Because we think if you have diabetes, you are unhealthy. No. You can be healthy despite your diabetes. Because health is not only biochemical values. Health is not merely blood pressure. Health is a state of well-being. And the more you have the state of well-being, the more you enhance your healing. And the more you enhance your healing, the better your state of well-being. It's interlinked. It's a spiral. Now, stress definitely goes down because of all of this. Acceptance, your attitude, the practices. And so what starts to happen, though you may not cure that chronic disease, the dosage required, you may be able to reduce. Earlier I was telling you in chronic diseases what happens, the dosage keeps on increasing. you may actually be able to stabilize the dosage at the same level or even reduce the dosage. Now the moment you can go against this rapid increase of dosage over a period of time, you are going to reduce the side effects. And if the side effects go down, what will happen? Patient compliance will be better. Why does a patient stop taking medicine? 2-3 factors. One, they feel it's not working. Second, the side effects are too much. And the third, the cost. All those three you can actually enhance by the yoga. One is the medicine's potency will be enhanced by yoga. So if it wasn't working, it's going to work. Again, it will work at a lower dosage, which means that you can reduce the dosage, which means you reduce the side effects. And by reducing dosage, you have reduced the financial burden also. So all three factors that hinder the patient compliance in chronic disease are enhanced by yoga. So in fact, yoga as an adjunct therapy in chronic diseases will make the patient more compliant to taking the medicine also. So there is a synergistic effect here, accumulative effect here. And of course, the autonomic balance. I was talking about how all of these are sympathetic overload and catabolism, degeneration. The autonomic balance will enhance anabolism. Autonomic balance, parasympathetic comes back to normal. Your body doesn't have to fight the stress so much anymore. It is called allostatic load. You have homeostasis. Now when your body goes into an altered state, in order to keep you normal, the body is responding. It is called allostasis. Now in order to keep you normal, it keeps on increasing the load. It is called the allostatic load. And at one point you collapse and everything becomes as bad as it can. Now what you do is that you are reducing the allostatic load. You are enhancing the parasympathetic vagal tone, parasympathetic balance. You are creating an anabolic, regenerative environment within yourself. And this is why the philosophy of yoga, the psychology of yoga, the physiology of yoga, all of them come together to help in chronic diseases. By doing the practices, you help your physiological function, the physical well-being. By the attitudes, you change your mental state of well-being, your development of acceptance, and of course your spiritual health. By that concept of Ishvara Pranidhana, Sharanagati, Shraddha and Virya, doing your best and leaving the rest. What are you doing? You are reducing your stress and you are enhancing the flow of healing energy. As long as you think you are alone, the struggle is going to be very, very big. But when you realize that the universe is with you, the struggle becomes a much easier struggle to face. But most of us are feeling the universe is different, we are different. And that is why there is a reconnection with our own higher self. Yujyate anena iti yogaha, it is said, where you are reuniting with your higher self, your own universe.